The Chief Justice, of course, denounced the leak and invited asked the Marshal of the Supreme Court to investigate. But were you surprised that all 9 justices didn't unite to issue a statement condemning it? And would that have made a difference?
I think they're probably still shell-shocked. I've heard that Justice Alito has been taken to an undisclosed location with his family. The others have had their security ramped up.
You know, you raised this issue, and I think it might startle the audience. You said Justice Alito and his family have been moved for their security. I have heard that security has been stepped up for the court in general.
I mean, we are in uncharted waters, unfortunately, and the activists who see this as Armageddon, as something that is completely illegitimate, beyond the pale. Desperate times require desperate measures. There's the publication of all the justices' home addresses on a website. So, you know, I hope for the best, but you have to plan for the worst.
Hope for the best, plan for the worst. As the fallout continues from that leaked draft memo from the Supreme Court, which detailed and showed what the potential jurors' vote would be on overturning Roe versus Wade, conservatives have been looking for a way to paint anyone that's in opposition to that stance as radical, violent, upset, looking to overtake and intimidate the Supreme Court. So there's Ilya Shapiro there. He is also an executive director and a senior lecturer at Georgetown Law. So he went to the lovely confines of Fox News and decided to say things like that you just heard, which was Samuel Alito has gone into hiding. I've heard that Samuel Alito has gone into hiding due to all of these rabid libs and their bloodthirst for women's rights. So of course, that led all these conservatives, from pundits to politicians, to be like, yes, exactly. Rumor. Let's look at some of the fallout that came from that after what he said. That was just over the weekend on Fox News. Of course, it started here. Ted Cruz tweeted, "Shameful." And the Biden White House is encouraging this lawless mob intimidation. We'll get to what Rebecca Downs was saying there in a bit, but he's responding to Rebecca Downs, who's a writer with conservative publication News. I don't want to misquote who she is, but Town Hall, she's with Town Hall. So he's responding to what she did there, and there's more from that. Also, Breitbart had a big story on it. Here's the headline: Reports Justice Samuel Alito moved to an undisclosed location. This is terrible, right? Also, so speaking of that, abortion activist Kristen Hawkins, she pushed it as well, because of course it's starting to build. This would happen on either side of the aisle, by the way, but this is what's happening. And that Town Hall reporter, Rebecca Downs, responded. So she said, Justice Alito and his family have been moved to an undisclosed location. Let us pray for he and his family's safety. And Rebecca Downs responded, is this being reported or confirmed anywhere else? If so, I'd love to do an article. Now there's Rebecca looking for some confirmation or something so she could do an article, rather than everyone else just saying this is what happened because some idiot on Fox News over the weekend said so. So, okay, so since it appears to be this lie, because that's what I think you guys see I'm going with this. Ilya Shapiro is one who's on that, who said that. Let's look at this a little bit from the Washington Post, who broke down how this whole thing went south. The only problem is that it doesn't seem to be based on anything, and it provides a great case study in how a rumor gets laundered into supposed fact, make it all the way to Twitter feeds of multiple US senators, not only Ted Cruz, but also Mike Lee. So Shapiro told Politico on Monday that he was unsure whether it was in fact true. Quote, I don't have any non-public sources, he said. I forget whether I saw the rumor on Twitter or somebody told me. I don't know. Also later on Monday, Shapiro tweeted a Reuters reporter who described the rumor as a viral tweet that made the claim, but unclear that it was sourced, if at all. Hey bro, they're talking about you that you're retweeting about that. Also, Politico did do some digging into the story as well, and they traced it back to last week. But even then, it doesn't appear that to have been anything more than just a rumor. Before you jump in, Ray, if you think Ilya Shapiro said this once on Fox News over the weekend, you'd be mistaken. He also went on a radio show and said it again. Watch.
I think right now the justices are a bit shell-shocked, and they're under extreme pressure. They're under their security has been heightened for all of them. I heard a rumor that Justice Alito and his family have been taken to an undisclosed location, and he's the author of this leaked draft, of course. Very dangerous times.
Very dangerous times. He's been taken to an undisclosed location, which led Jesse Waters to say this.
This was enough to force Justice Alito and his entire family into hiding. They've moved now to an undisclosed location.
It was enough to force them into hiding, Ravana. So Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, Ilya Shapiro, every pundit probably on Fox and every conservative outlet as well, people writing about it, people tweeting about it. So by the time it's been pushed back that this is not confirmed whatsoever, everyone's already believed it by now.
Yeah, and I'm calling complete BS on this, honestly. I'm sorry. If you had someone tell it to you, you would remember that someone told it to you. You would remember who told it to you. Speaking in regards to Shapiro going on Fox News. I mean, and it wasn't just Fox News. You went on multiple, you went on Fox News, you went on that radio program and spread this rumor. And now you're trying to cover your butt, right? You're trying to say that, I just don't remember where I heard you lied. Just say that you lied. You lied, okay? And honestly, they're a lecturer at Georgetown Law. I don't know if they practice law, but showing that you are not trustworthy is a violation of the model rules for attorneys as far as ethics goes, and is grounds to be disciplined by the ABA, the ethics board. So, if I were you, I would probably try to prove that I had read it somewhere and believed it to be true, because it's not looking great for you right now, because it really, really, really looks like you lied for attention and to stoke outrage, especially considering this is a conservative professor who has criticized the appointment of Ketanji Brown Jackson, in a racist way, that he had to walk back and apologize for. I don't know. I just think that maybe you should either, just say, okay, I'm sorry I lied, or, really, really dig for that tweet that you based all this off of.
Well, he can't do it. He can't do it now, because then they'll have to actually acknowledge that they've jumped off this and then have talked consistently about how rabidly dangerous their opposition is. And that's definitely their objective. So for anyone who's gonna point out how this is unconfirmed and potentially not true, because by the way, it's unconfirmed, not that it's been said that he's definitely not. So maybe we'll turn up one day that we'll discover that Justice Alito did go into hiding or did move his family somewhere. Maybe it was for a different reason, and we're just gonna say it was because he's afraid for his life. Who knows? But also the Supreme Court has a policy for not talking about this anyway. So when people reached out to get confirmation or not, they just don't respond. So it's kind of left up in the air. But definitely what we heard from the source of this entire thing was, I forget if I saw it on Twitter or someone told me. That sounds like it could be Joe Schmo in Nebraska who said, yeah, I saw it on Twitter or something, and therefore everyone should believe me. The fact that people in positions like this that have a megaphone and positions and are of some level of intelligence do things like this just shows where we are with our political discourse. They just don't care. If you can lie to your people and your followers and then push your policy or opposition to policy or protests based off of this, I think the basis for all of your actual principles is false, just like what we've seen here.